So now let's move on and go to the next part, that is, before I move ahead, is there anything left? Uh, yes, we have to complete that. Okay, so let's take a folder, okay, and delete everything. Uh, delete, delete. Okay, so this is a fresh folder, right? And we have already seen how to set up the environment for our development, right? If you do not have a PC, then you can use CodePen. If you have a PC, you can use Visual Studio Code to do your editing, right? So let's first create index.html. Okay, we are using Emmet over here, so auto completion of certain tags can be done from here. Okay, so once this much is done, our first setup part is done. Okay, now one more thing left is to view this output. Okay, so for that I will just right click on the file and open with live server. That will open it on a new browser. Okay, and I don't want it off full screen, so I will take it on this side, and on this side I will keep my code. Okay, so once that is done, let me close this out, increase the font a little bit. Okay, is it visible? If you want me to increase the font, let me know. No problem, Tabish. Okay, so I think it is visible. So let's move ahead. Okay, so now, so in the title, whatever I put, it comes over here. Okay, you can see, and whatever I put it in the body tag, that will be visible in the page. Okay, so that I can see over here. Okay, let me just increase the font size. Okay, so all set. Now let us begin. Now I have shown you some certain what do you say techniques in Visual Studio Code of using lorem. Okay, so I can use lorem for this. If I save it, I get some random paragraph. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to teach you some additional tags. Okay, and those tags are not much used, but sometimes it helps. Okay, so let's say for first example is the bold tag. Okay, so if I want to bold any specific text, so you can see what is the result, right? uh, it bolds that particular text. Okay, so wherever that B tag is opening and closing, whatever inside it will be bold. Okay, so similarly you can have another variation of this is strong. Okay, so it does the same thing, right? Then there is something called as italic. You can create italic font. Okay, then another very nice little thing is, let's suppose I want to do x square. Okay, so I want to do x square, but this doesn't look like a square, right? So what I can do is I can write sup and 2. Okay, so inside that 2, so sup is for superscript. Okay, so if I save it, you can see what exactly happens. Okay, so it goes to the top of the text. Okay, and if you do sub, that is for subscript, you can see it comes down. Okay, so these two things are very interesting. You can use S, I suppose, for striking out. Okay, so you can see that particular text is striked out. I think you may not be able to see it clearly, but I will just increase the text. You can see now there is a strike. Okay, So like that, there are lots of different tags that are there. You can try it one by one. I will show you a cheat sheet which I use mostly. I don't remember each and everything. So this is the website that I like the most, overapi.com. Okay. So basically, every developer should have, you know, it's not possible for every developer to remember each and every commands. Okay. And I'm absolutely sure that all those who are starting web development will find it very difficult, you know, to remember each and every tags. Okay. So that is where cheat sheets come into picture. Okay. So it is absolutely uh, required that you keep a cheat sheet handy with yourself all the time. Okay. So I used to keep PDF files before, whenever I get stuck, but nowadays I just use this website overapi.com. And previously I used to print out all the cheat sheet and keep it on my table only, so that, you know, whenever I get stuck I can refer it. But as and when you progress, you tend to remember many of the tags. Okay. So you don't have to worry about using this thing. Okay. Another common misconception is, if you use softwares like Visual Studio Code, then you will never be able to remember the tags. That is completely wrong. Okay. So I have been using Visual Studio, such kind of editors for long, and it has helped me a lot, you know, to remembering the this thing also, tags also. But obviously it will, you know, create a, it will be much more faster if you type it manually. Okay. But then this also helps. Okay. It is not like you should not use it. Okay. Because many of the times I have seen people telling me that use notepad or use somewhere where, you know, type hinting is not there. Okay. So that you get to you know, remember the tags faster. That is, that there is nothing like that. Okay. Now here what I want to show you is, you can see it, almost every cheat sheet is here. Okay. In fact, even the Git cheat sheet is here, right? GitHub Git cheat sheet is here, CSS cheat sheet is here. And if you go down, just look at the list. Okay. So there is every cheat sheet, and the most popular ones are listed on top. And I am interested in HTML. I will click that. Okay. And this is my cheat sheet. Okay. So we have covered all these things, and what I want to cover is, where was it? Yes, here. So for formatting, these are some of the tags that are there. Okay. I will not be able to take everything, but you can you know, go ahead and all the tags are similar. Some of the tags are very important. I will be taking those uh, here. Okay. So the few of the tags I've already mentioned. Another very important tag is, let's say, del. Okay. You again, you are not going to use all these tags as of often, because we are using CSS for all these things. We are no longer using these things. Okay. So you can see del also does the same thing. It strikes out. Okay. And hmm, let's do, what other important things are there? Okay. Very important thing, small. Okay. So this I use many of the times, small. Okay. So if I save it, and you can see the font of dollar is slightly smaller than the actual dollar. Okay. So that small tag does that only. Okay. So it reduces the font slightly, so that there is a difference created. Okay. So that is very important. You know, sometimes when during development, you know, heading and subheading, the subheading, I always keep it in a small tag, so that, you know, I don't have to additionally style it. Okay. So that is just the way I do it. It is completely up to you. Okay. Then there are two more tags that I would like to show, but before that, let me see if there is anything important. No. You can use for underline. Okay, so if you use you, you can see you can get an underlined text. Okay, again, this you can do it with the help of CSS. So again, this is not important, but what is important is these tags, the pre tag. Okay, the pre tag and the code tag. Okay, so whenever you want to display some code onto your page, then let us see, let's say for example, I want to display an HTML code inside HTML. How is it possible, right? Or I want to display, let's say okay, I want to display a C code. Okay, C language code inside my browser. Okay, so when I do this, when I press enter, and if I come down, I do int main. Okay, and then I do return 0. Okay, once I save it, you can see what has happened. Even though I have done this, it still prints everything on a single line. Okay, so that is the problem with HTML, right? So obviously you can solve this by simple BR tag that we have seen in the last session. If I do this, this also helps. Okay, it brings it somewhat near to that, but this is not the way you put code inside your HTML. Okay, so for that you usually go for code tag. Okay, so what you do is you put the code tag and you paste it. So now you can see the font style has changed slightly. Okay, now this alone will not help. This code style will change the font of your whatever you say, what the text. Okay, so this now looks like a code, but it is still not formatted. Okay, so now for formatting it the way it looks on the screen, you just have to add a pre tag in front of it. Okay, so the entire pre tag, if I do, I wrap it in front of it. Now if I save it, you can see now it exactly looks the same way it looks over here. Okay, because there is additional space over here, that's why it is having space over here also. Okay, so if I add additional space over here and save it, you can see the int main goes over here. Okay, same thing if I do not use pre, then it will all come in a single line. Okay, so you should understand this. This is very important that to understand what is the use of pre over here. Okay, and what is the use of code over here, right? So the code part, let me just remove code and show you what is the importance of code. If I save it, you can see that what code does is it changes the font in a different way, so that it looks like a code, source code to you. Okay, right now the font of this and the font of this is same. Okay, I don't want that. So for that I use the code tag. The code tag slightly changes the structure little bit. Okay, and it creates a feel that it is it is like a code. Okay, now obviously this is again not the exact way of doing this. You can again style it, and there are other packages that are available, like this package highlight.js, and you can see once this is done, then how it looks. Okay, So the code looks with syntax highlighting and colorful, code. So that is how you can do it with the help of this particular library. Okay. So all this we will see when we reach JavaScript. At that time, we will see that. Okay. So these are some of the tags that are important that we will learn. Okay. So is there any doubt still here? Okay. Okay, Shaista is asking, sir, is there a need to remember all the tags? Not at all. Okay, you do not need to remember most of the tags, but some you have to remember it. Like all those, as I am going to stretch on certain things that you have to remember it, because every time looking at the cheat sheet is not advisable, because that will slow down your development pace. Okay. Obviously at the beginning you will find it little difficult to remember certain things. Mainly the tags you can easily remember, but the attributes and all those things, it will be slightly difficult, especially once we start developing CSS. The commands, the keywords for each CSS tag, there are more than 5,000 keywords. We cannot remember each and everything, right? So cheat sheet helps there. Okay, so that is a good part of having a cheat sheet. But once you start developing for a few years, it automatically goes inside your brain what is to be done where, what is to be used where. Okay, so that is not a problem. Any other queries? Amin Ali, I didn't understand your question. Font style change is also included in formatting or in JavaScript. Font style, you mean to say the font format of the fonts, like Times to Calibri or something? Okay, so that is done, that can be done with the tag called font also. Okay, if you just look at it over here, there is a font tag also, but we don't use it nowadays, uh, because those things are deprecated. Okay, so we no longer use font tag to change the font. We use CSS for everything. Okay, just understand this much, that HTML, whenever I explain people about what is the difference between HTML and CSS, so HTML, just consider it like a unfinished building. Okay, so the building is your HTML. Okay, so there are pillars, there are walls, but CSS is everything else: the furniture, the paint, the lighting, the doors, everything is done by CSS. Okay, so the CSS, once you start learning CSS, that is when your building looks like a building. Okay, or your house looks like a house. Okay, other than CSS, HTML has little bit of styling, right? Like for example, um, um, I don't know if it is there in paragraph or not. Let me just check. Okay, so I have added let, and let me see BG. I don't know whether this is still, because it is coming in red. I'm not sure whether it will be there or not. Okay, it is not there. Let me, I will show you the styling part in the table also. Okay, table we have to start next. Let me see if it is there in anchor tag still. Okay, so basically all these things have been removed. So you can see it is coming in red. Okay, so previously there used to be ways to set background color. In fact, I think in body I can set BG color. I'm not sure again, but I've never. Okay, so this is how you can set the background color. Okay, but again, this is not the way we do it right now. We do it with CSS, not with HTML. All the coloring, all the styling, everything, in fact the positioning of elements, everything is done using CSS, nothing related to uh, HTML is like the building block. Okay, so you are just giving the structure and then the design is done completely using CSS. Okay, so that you have to keep in mind. Okay, uh, can we do that in CSS? BG color is used in body, and okay sir, understood. Okay, so okay, so I think there are no other queries, so let us move ahead uh, to the table. Okay, so next topic is table. So this is very important because we are going to use nowadays we do not use tables for designing the web page. Okay, so nowadays we use divs and spans. Okay, so that we are yet to cover. That is the main design element, so I've kept it at the last. Okay, but tables still it is used for email development. Okay, so when you create email UIs, okay, so the UI for your email composition will be slightly different. Okay, so you cannot use div inside. You can use div, but it will not position properly because most of the clients email clients does not support complete HTML5 standards. Okay, so that's why we still rely on HTML table for designing the web pages for email browsers. Okay, so email browsers like Gmail or Outlook or Rediff Mail, so for them also we design the pages using HTML only, but slightly the technique will be slightly different. Okay, so that for that you have to understand tables. Okay, so let us start with tables. The tag is table. Okay, and inside that table tag you should have the table consists of rows and columns, right? So whenever you want to start a new row, you write tr. Okay, and inside the tr, whenever you want to have columns, you put td. Okay, so column number 1, column number 2, and column number 3. Okay, so you save it and you can see I have 1 2 3, but it has no resemblance to a table yet. Okay, for that is because there is some more things I need to add, then only this will work as a table. Okay, but right now it is showing me the details. Okay, so let me take an actual table. Okay, so let's take serial number, then name, then let's say marks. Okay, so you can see I have now 3 columns, serial number, names. Now I want to have one more row. Okay, so I will just copy this entire thing, paste it down, and I will now change this to 1 Shibu and let's say 30. Okay, so 30 marks. So you can see the next row has come. Now I can do a duplicate of the same thing few more times. Let me put this as 2, this as 3, this as 4. And let me take some names from the participant list: Anushka, Faisal, and Kaif. Okay, so Anushka, Faisal, and Kaif. Okay, so you can see my table is there. Okay, but it doesn't look like a table right now, right? It does look like it something is arranged in rows and columns, but the borders and other things are not there, right? So for that we actually are going to use CSS only again for this. But just to show you, I will just put the attribute border equal to 1. Okay, so what border equal to 1 does is it puts a 1 pixel border around the table. Okay, so you can see now how the table looks. Okay, so now it looks like a 3D table, right? If I increase this to 5 pixels, so you can see the border, the outer border becomes 5 pixels. Okay, now this has nothing to do with the internal border of a cell. Okay, the cell border is controlled by the TD. Okay, and the table border is controlled by the table tag. Okay, so when I increase to 5 pixels, that border is changed only for the entire table. Okay, outer table. Okay, so let us go switch to 1 pixels only. Okay, now you can see that there are some spacing in between. Okay, so you can see that between the cells and the outer table there are some spacing, right? So you can remove that by cell spacing. You can set it to 0. Okay, cell spacing, set it to 0, and now you can see that entire space in between is gone. Okay, now you can see everything is inside. There is no room for the contents to breathe, right? So you can add a little room inside by cell padding. Okay, so let's add cell padding of 5, and you can see now the table has added 5 pixels around the table, around the cell. Okay, so this is basically your table. Okay, now this is not the actual way of doing it. Okay, the actual way is this will also work, but then the actual way I will show you that every table should have 3 internal tags. Okay, so that now if you remember, your table will have a header and a footer, and the center part is the content. Okay, so now usually this is the syntax of a complex table. Okay, so you can see top and bottom is the header and the footer, and in between there are your table data. Okay, so that is how your table looks like, right? But then this is not the way you represent such kind of data. It is not mandatory to have a footer, but let's suppose we have a footer also, right? So in that case, the way you do it is using 3 tags. First one is t head. Okay, the second one is t body, and the third one is t foot. Okay, so whatever is your header, table header, should go inside t head. Okay, so let's take out this header part. We know this tr is the header. Cut it from here and paste it inside head. Okay, you can see now it is t head part. Now this entire thing, the first row is the head. Okay, now let us take advantage of the footer. Let's take from here, cut it and put it inside footer. Okay, so take it footer and paste it inside footer. So now it becomes footer. So this order is not important at all. You can put footer before on the top also, but still it will come at the end only. Okay, and now the remaining part that is left is your body. Okay, so that I will put it inside body. Now I save it. Now you can see there as such there is no difference here. Okay, so it is like looking exactly the same, but only thing is, when search engines try to crawl your pages, then this will help them a lot. Okay, such kind of semantic tags are a lot many a times it's very helpful. Okay, and now before I go ahead, okay, so let's move on. Okay, so I have already explained you why I have done this. Separate the contents into t head, t body, and t footer. Now this will help in many ways for the crawlers that are there, which crawls your website. Also, when you start using something called as data tables, this is a wonderful library which I have used in almost every application that I've created. So this basically, creates, it gives you many features, like it gives you sorting feature, it gives you search feature, all all that out of the box. So you don't have to worry about making these things. So pagination, all these things are there. So all these things uh, can be done if you properly um, structure your table. Okay, if you don't do that, then that data tables will not work on your table. Okay, so that's why we do this. Another very important thing is to tell the search engines which are the actual header and which are the actual important elements of your table. Instead of td, we use something called as th, table header. Okay, so wherever there is td, I'm going to replace it by th. Okay, so now what happens is, when I do that, it automatically converts this into uh, table, into a bold tag. Okay, so this uh, also looks good, but at the same time it helps the search engines also, crawlers also, to identify what are the headers of your table. Okay, similarly I can do the same thing for, sorry, to the footer also. Okay, so I can do th, save, and now you can see the header and the footer has a separate style over here. Okay, now the next thing that I want to show you is, many of the times your first element is also a part of the header. Okay, so that will this, what we call it as, is the column header. Okay, and there can also be possible that there can be row headers. Okay, so let's say for example serial number here in our case is a row header. Okay, so in that case also you can put this as th. Okay, so you can see the difference, how what difference does it make. Okay, so between td, keeping the element as td or keeping the element as th. Okay, so this is just an added advantage. Sorry. Okay, so that is from that part. Okay, so the next part is, another tag that can be added inside table is called caption. Okay, now caption again helps to tell the search engine what is the title of your table. Okay, so basically this you must have seen everywhere in every book that you have that you study. It will be written something like this: table 1.1 colon. So it will be something like this, right? So that is done with the help of caption. Okay, the styling of the caption can be done again using css. That is not an issue. Okay, now what we can do now, before I go to the advanced part, that is spanning of columns, I would like to show you another very important thing. Let's suppose I want to change the color of the background of this particular row. Okay, the entire row, because it's a header, I want to change the color, right? So what I can do is, again I can use css for this. I will be using css only, but because we are learning html right now, I'm going to do the same thing with html. Okay, so bg color, let's call it bg color, let's say gray. I think it is ay or ey. Okay, it is ay. Okay, so you can see the entire row becomes gray. Okay, now let's suppose I want to highlight Faisal. Okay, I want to highlight Faisal in green. Okay, so what should I do? So if I do come to this tr and do bg color, what will happen? It will highlight the entire row, right? But I don't want that. I want only Faisal to be highlighted. So whenever you want to target a particular cell, you should go to inside that td, and you should go inside that td and paste the color. Okay, so now you can see Faisal. Okay, Okay. So now what if I want to change the column, entire column's color? Any idea how we can do that? Anyone can suggest how we can do that? I want to change the color of entire column. I want to put it as yellow. Okay. So what should I do? Under the tag tr. No. Okay, if I put yellow over here, then only Faisal is changed, right? But I want all these names, Shibu, Anushka, Faisal, Kaif, all to be yellow, right? Simple. I will just copy this and paste it everywhere, right? And you can see that my name is okay, right? So this is how you do it, right? But this is not the way we do it, because this, in this case, it will be very difficult. Let's just imagine if your table is not static, okay, it changes with your code. Your PHP is generating the table. Then in that case, new entries may not have BG color yellow, right? So it will not have that. So new entries will not have that color, right? So that is the problem. So there is a simple, no, different way of doing this that I will show you. I will first remove all these things. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come inside after the uh, table, table tag. I'm going to do something, a new tag called call group. Okay. And inside call group, okay, I'm going to do call. Okay, so the number of columns that you have inside the tr, those many calls you should have over inside call group also. Okay, so I have 3 columns, so I am putting 3 calls. Okay, so now what is this call group? Now you know that each tr has a grouping, right? So if I want to target one tr, I can put the style in this tr. Simple, right? So whatever style I put in this tr, it applies to all the cells, right? But there is no grouping for the columns, right? For grouping of rows, there is tr, but for grouping of columns, there is no column groupings, right? So for that, this is provided for you. Okay, so in this case, this first call represents all this. Okay, so this this and this. Okay, so all this represents the first call. The second call represents the second column, that is Shibu, Anushka, Faisal, Kef. And the third call represents 30, 30, 30, 30. Okay, so now let's suppose I want to change this color, the center column's color, to pink. So all I have to do is come into call and do BG color to pink. Okay, and save. You can see the entire rows or entire columns color changes to pink. Okay, including the head and the footer, but only this color did not change. Why? Any idea why the header color did not change? This did not change, but this header footer changed. Any idea why? Any idea? Yes, Shaista, perfect, because this column is overridden by the head. In the head, you can see I have purposely added gray over here. Okay, so which one will take preference? This tr will take preference over the column. Okay, so if nothing is mentioned over here, let me just remove this and save. You can see now it takes effect. Okay, so if I override it, then it will take that color. Okay, and in fact, if I override this also, you can see only now the internal, the th takes preference over everything else. Okay, so this entire HTML is all about preference. Okay, so the more inside it is, the more no higher the preference it is. Okay, higher precedence it has. Okay, so this is very important. Any doubts still here? Yes, Anushka, right, perfect. Okay, so now let me just undo all these things and move on to the last part of this. That is very important, and that is very confusing to most of the students. And I would like you to concentrate very carefully that what I'm trying to do. Okay, because this is going to create a big confusion later. Okay, so let me just show you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create oral marks, term work marks, and total marks. Okay, so this is my table. It's going to be this table, and you can see the table is created perfectly. And uh, because the header has extra columns, but the remaining does not have other columns. That's why this center part, sorry, the right part is empty. Okay, so because we have 5 columns, we should also have 5 columns in other TRs also. Okay, so let's just add additional columns. And this I think I can copy from here, because header and footer, let us keep it same. Okay, and this is how it looks. Okay, now if you look at this, what I want to do is, this looks a bit complicated, right? Because if you look at this, what is common over here? Marks, marks, and marks. Okay, so can I do something like this where marks is common, and then inside that there are 3 divisions: oral, term work, total, like this. Okay, so that is where we start merging the table and create complex tables. Okay, so for that you have to understand something called as col span and row span. Okay, so the first thing, the way I do it, I will teach you. Okay, now it is completely up to you to decide how to go ahead with this. Okay, so whenever I do some this kind of a thing, first thing that I do is I go to the head tag. Okay, find the TR and copy the TR and paste it again. I will paste it twice. Okay, now you can see it is coming twice, right? Now the first thing that I do is I will adjust. I know that serial number should come only once. Okay, it is coming twice, so it should be spanning what? Okay, so I should be joining columns or rows. There are 2 serial numbers, and I have to join what? Columns or rows. To join both of them together, I have to join rows, because this is on a separate row, this is on a separate row. Okay, so what I will do is I will come on the first one, the first th part, and I will put row span as how many rows I want to span? 2. Okay, so this is the first row and this is the second row, so I will span 2 rows. Okay, and as soon as I do row span, the corresponding SR tag should be removed. Okay, so once I do that, now you can see that particular thing is merged now. Okay, the same thing I have to do with name also. Okay, so let's do it with name also. So row span, and how many rows to span? 2. Okay, and immediately when I do row span, I have to remove the name, the tag that it responds to from the other tag. Okay, other TR. So now you can see the name and the serial number are merged. Now the next part, that is these parts. Okay, now to do this, I have to find out, first of all, I want to replace all these things with marks. Okay, so this is the first row, right? So first row, that is these things. So I will replace all these things by marks. Save it. So now you can see marks, marks, marks. Okay, So now you can see again, this is repeating, right? So I don't want to repeat the entire thing, right? So what I will do, I will merge this, okay? But this time, where is the, which things I want to merge? Do I want to merge the rows or do I want to merge the columns? So you can see I want to merge columns, right? So this time I will come to the first tag, okay? And I will do call span, and how many columns I want to span? 3 columns, right? Because this is the first one, this is the second, and this is the third, right? So I will span 3 columns, and as soon as I do that, immediately those columns which I want to remove should be removed. Okay, so these 2 columns I don't need now because I am going to span this one. I'm going to increase it to 3 areas, right? So I can remove this. Okay, so now if I save, you can see marks is taking up the entire space. Okay, so now you must have understood that I don't need this marks over here because again the marks need not be repeated. Okay, so I can remove that, save it, and now it looks better, right? So now I have marks over here. Then marks has subdivision as oral, term work, and total. Okay, so this is the advantage of using row span and call span. Okay, now when you do row span, remember the tag that you want to remove is from the next tr. Okay, the next tr. And when you do call span, the tag that you remove is from the current tr only. Okay, so that you have to remember it, otherwise you will create a big problem. Okay, now the same thing I want to do is I want to find out the total. Okay, so I want to remove this, I don't want this here. Okay, I want to replace this entire thing with total, and here it should have total marks of this particular column. Okay, so how to do it? Let's go to footer. So I don't want this. Okay, so instead of that I will write total, and here also I will write total. Okay, save it. You can see total, but I don't want to repeat it either. I want to join these two together. So you can see it I want to join columns, right? Because this is going to it is in the same row and I want to join the columns, right? So I will go to the first th or tr td, whatever is there, and write call span. And how many calls I want to span? 2. And as soon as I do that, it is call span. So in the same tr, I want to remove the next whatever is no disturbing the orientation. I save it, and now you can see I have the total set. Okay, and now simple, I just have to replace this by the total marks, whatever is the marks, and that's it. This is my final table. Okay, so this is how you use call span and row span. You can create complex tables. Okay, so in fact you can use call span inside call span. Okay, so there are such many different ways you can use this call span. You can you can use inside the table also. Okay, let's suppose you want to use you want to merge these marks together, you can do that. Anything is possible. Okay, so you can create complex structures with the help of row span and call span. Okay, only thing to remember when you are using call span and row span, whenever you do row span, the next tr data will be removed. Okay, and whenever you do call span, the current tr's data will be removed. Okay, so that you have to take care. Okay, so is there any doubts? Can we stop the session? I hope everybody has given the attendance. Are there any queries? All clear. Okay, very good. Uh, so next week we will cover forms. Okay. And we will finish up with forms, and I think that will be it for HTML part. Then we will immediately start with the most important part, that is CSS. Okay. And then how to design web pages, and CSS will take at least 3 weeks to finish, because I want to show you how you can design your own web pages. Okay. There are different tools that I would like to show you. So see to it that you don't miss any of the lectures. Okay. Okay, then I will stop this lecture. If there are any queries, you can ask in the forum or directly to me in the WhatsApp. And also I will be I will be putting up the video and quiz today itself. Okay. Josefa is asking, what is the benefit of using t-head tag inside table? We can design without it too. Exactly. Josefa, I think you missed that part when I gave you the reason. The reason is very simple. It helps the search engines, the crawlers. Okay. So basically, once you design the web page, you submit your website to crawlers, and the crawlers are automated spiders who crawl your website to find out what all pages are there, so that when people search, they can search your website properly. So those crawlers have certain requirements for your website. So these are one of the requirements. And second thing is, if you give t head and t body, t footer, then this gives you much more clearer concept that what part is the header and what part is the footer. Okay. So that is very good in terms of semantic analysis of your page. Also, when you use some frameworks like data tables that I have shown you, there are other frameworks also. There also it is mandatory to have t head and t body section. T footer is not important, but t head and t body section is mandatory. So without that, it will not work. So rather than doing it later stage, it is better you always have a standard that you always write a table with t head and t body. Okay. So that will create a good SEO for your website. Any other queries?